Hello and welcome to another edition of TSL Talk. My normal colleague Brett Stubbs is currently on a plane overseas. He's the resident Mike Sheen of the Mercury. So today I'm joined by Brett Geeves, Tassie cricketer, ABC commentator, Mercury columnist. Anything you don't do, Brett?
Play cricket, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes. So well, thanks for having me.
Happy to be here, mate. And obviously you were out at KG5 on Saturday for what turned out to be a bit of a flogging. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, it was a disappointing game. I think we'd obviously hoped for a lot more out of Devonport, but Glenorchy showed the class that they've got in their midfield. Reece Mott put in an absolute blinder. I think he had 30 odd possessions and kicked a couple of goals. And of course, Big Ben Reynolds up forward was just remarkable. He had 20 marks, 12 at half time, kicked 8 goals or 7 goals, 5. The only deficiency in his game was his goal kicking. He probably missed 4 or 5 set shots from within 35 metres straight in front. So if he kicked straight, it could have been a 12-goal haul. And he just obviously is from Devonport, and Reece Mott's from Devonport, and they both played blinders. And Devonport looked to really struggle in that game. They just lacked someone to actually take the game apart, particularly through the midfield. And look, it was disappointing, but it was a beautiful day. Sun was out, and it was quite ironic in that regard.
I guess obviously coming up against their old side for the first time, was there any niggle at all in the game towards Mott or Rodman? I know they did lose a heap of players, so probably didn't count so much, I guess. Yeah,
look, there was only one off-the-ball incident. Reece Mott got hit late, downfield free kick, but apart from that, the game was played in good spirits. And certainly after the game, I spoke to Ben Reynolds, and he was quite emotional about not being able to play for Devon, or not playing for Devonport. And heading into the match, it kind of made clear that there's some mixed emotions about the match, but he certainly put those behind him. And a seven goal haul and 20 odd marks kind of showed that.
Fair effort, isn't it? Yeah, well, I was down at Lauderdale. Lauderdale taking on the undefeated ladder leaders in Launceston. Put up a really good fight, I thought. 3 quarters they were really with them. Last quarter they sort of got away, but I guess it's looking increasingly unlikely anybody to stop Launceston at the moment, isn't it?
Well, it's always hard travelling to Lauderdale, and I'm not sure if Launceston came up the morning of the game or if they stayed overnight. Obviously, TSL budgets probably aren't high enough to be able to travel the night before, but Lauderdale have made a little bit of a home out of their home ground. Obviously, that's goes without saying, but it is hard to beat Lauderdale down there. Marcus Fitz plays the ground extremely well. Their supporters get right behind them. I think Lauderdale are improving as a team, and certainly as a club. They're starting to grow as well. But Launceston, continue their dominance, and there's been a lot of talk of them having an easy run because they play the northern-based teams more than the south. But they've showed against the southern teams that they are the team to beat.
I guess if we have a look at the ladder now, the other big result from the weekend, of course, was North Hobart losing to Northern Bombers up there. In the context of things, that's a really big loss, given that now obviously Burnie, North Launceston get to play South Launceston and Devonport twice. They'll really be fighting to stay in the hunt for that 4th spot, won't they?
Yeah, North Hobart they're on and off, aren't they? They can show signs of greatness, and the ABC covered the game against Clarence last week, and North Hobart looked like an AFL unit. They moved the ball swiftly off half back, and but then they just get themselves out of the game. I think obviously there's some mental demons that they're fighting. Pardon the pun, of course, demons. But look, it's they'd be disappointed losing to Northern Bombers, and Clint Brown, their coach, is a pretty active young bloke, and I think they'd probably be having a pretty tough week on the track.
Absolutely, and the other big game down here was Clarence just smashing South Launceston by 150 points, and we talk about it in here with Brett that it's going to be a long year for South Launceston, unfortunately. So looking ahead to this week, and I think the big game down here is definitely at North Hobart again. It's North Hobart taking on Hobart. You'll be there, I assume, covering it, mate, with ABC, but I think it's a really danger game, given Hobart really do seem to lift when they take on the Demons.
Yeah, I've been subbed out for Tim Hazel this week, the more attractive Tim Hazel, which is fine on the home brand version of Tim Hazel in terms of looks, but that's okay, I'll move forward. Great game this week. Hobart, they thumped Glenorchy at the TCA ground last Sunday, and again, they're a team that play a good half of footy and then somehow just find themselves out of the game. They'll have a good first half, poor second half, poor first half, and so on. But the coach Graham Fox, he set up a great game against Glenorchy. He coached very well, and the players reacted to that and got a good win. So North Hobart versus Hobart should be quite a close game.
Beautiful. Well, Brett, thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
in the
Finn.
absence
Thanks
of
for
the-
having
of the
us.
great
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And remember, for all your TSL news, head to the Mercury Online or get your copy of the Mercury.